Did someone say drama? Oh, yeah, that was me because we are reacting to Andrew Wilson, friend of the show, kind of getting into a heated debate with Tim Pool. He was on the Culture War from Tenet's Tim Pool Culture War show, where it's a debate. I was also on that show with Andrew Wilson's amazing wife. I feel like every time I do a video, I literally always talk about Rachel and Andrew. I don't know why. We love them here. But anyways, Andrew Wilson was supposed to be debating Richard Spencer, but he ended up debating Tim Pool for a while, and it got kind of heated. So I was watching this as I was doing my makeup today. I was planning on filming something else, but I really wanted to do this because I know you guys love the drama. I love the drama. Let's talk about it. Before we get into it, like this video. My likes suck on my videos, my husband informed me. So please help your orange girl out. Like the video, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it.
And I said, wow, based on everything these people are saying and preparing for, they're going to go to D.C. and do something like this. And then they did.
Yeah, but I think if you say that the sky is falling enough times, just like Alex Jones, eventually a couple of those things are correct.
In 2018, when I said escalation of political violence is going to reach a massive tipping point, and then in 2020, they firebombed St. John's Church and the White House grounds, and they took over numerous cities, I predicted that. So to say, you've been saying for a long time it's around the corner, and every time you say something's going to happen, it does, but you're still wrong. Dude, I don't care if I'm wrong.
Well, it's not every time you say it that it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is that you've made the prediction so many times. I've heard it so many times on your show. Are we this close? We're this close to civil war. It's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. And the real question is, what will happen when the civil war gets here?
Honestly, and I've been on Tim Pool's show, obviously. Tim Pool's cool. He's always been nice to me. He has some good takes, he has some cringe takes, whatever. We all do, right? But I feel like when I heard Andrew first say this, I was like, he's pretty on the nose here. It's kind of like the doomsday, civil war is happening, the end of our democracy. Okay, we've been saying this for years. Where is it at? Because yes, there's a lot of turmoil in America, but we're certainly not at a civil war. Let's be for Rizzy here.
I haven't seen the Civil War, Tim. I'm going to be honest with you, and it doesn't look to me like the political will is there to do it. Now, January 6th people went quietly into the night, and nobody's really saying much about that either.
So the first thing I'll say academically is, I don't know if you've ever actually read history books. Perhaps you...
All right, this right here, honestly, I think was a dick thing to say of Tim. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Tim family. Listen. It sounds like a leftist when you say, oh, there's only two genders. They'll be like, do you have Google? Look it up. So Tim's kind of doing this. I don't know if you've ever read a history book, but okay. He has. Stop it. Stop it. And if you did any ounce of research into Andrew Wilson and his wife, Rachel Wilson, I always have to mention Rachel when I mention Andrew, they both read so much. They're expert debaters. Like, at least she's a historian. Like, she is an encyclopedia of book of knowledge, but so is Andrew. I've seen him go into debates and I've watched his debates and I'm like, holy crap. I would never want to debate him because he's an expert debater. That's what he knows how to do. He knows a lot of history, and so it just comes off kind of like pretentious and condescending, like, well, I don't know, like, do you know there's a thing like called history? Have you ever heard of it? Oh, yeah. Well, if you did, then you would know that I'm actually right and you're wrong. Boo. Like that. What was that? Boo. I don't know what that was. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys agree with me? I don't know. It was like a little passive-aggressive mean girl action from Mr. Beanie over here, our favorite Jew. Yes, the yarmulke? Or, no, look at me. I Freudian slip. The Beanie is a yarmulke, guys. He's a Jew, actually. It's true. Wow, that rhymed. Amazing. Let's go.
Perhaps a guy like me, read? Yes, I've read history books. And
yeah, Andrew took it the same way, like, oh, can I read it? Yeah, thank you, Tim. Thank you.
So when you read articles specifically about various historical periods, you realize that we condense it in our history books. And so when we talk about the rise of Hitler, people tend to forget that it's like 20 years through Weimar Germany leading up to this point where this guy rises to power. And so
conditions were set for the Weimar Republic. We had massive inflation.
I think you're either being purposefully obtuse or you cannot comprehend basic facts.
Well,
so you're calling him that? And I love how he says you can't comprehend basic facts. Like, if you really think that he's that stupid, then why is he like one of the debaters on your show? You don't think he can comprehend basic facts? These are just low blow insults that are stupid, not true, and you're kind of not really debating the topic at hand here. You're kind of deflecting and name calling. It's pretty stupid. I don't know. Am I crazy? Let me know what you guys think.
And the intentional being intentionally obtuse is to say, I recognize that many different academics have predicted civil war, state that we're in civil strife. You said political violence is going to escalate. The summer of love did happen. You said in 2020 that a bunch of angry Trump supporters are going to go to D.C. and storm, the White House. It wasn't the White House, it was the Capitol building. You got that one right. And you've been warning about how these things lead to each other. And now today, as of today, because the civil war didn't kick off at any of those time periods, you've been wrong to predict these things are escalating. The first thing is, when I say, hey, look, here's a guy who said this thing is happening, that's not me predicting it. That's saying a Princeton professor has made this prediction. A former CIA official has made this prediction. Numerous security advisors have made this prediction. Canada is saying it's improbable. So it's not necessarily a prediction, but they're concerned about its potentiality. Investors are now making this prediction. We are in civil strife. I'm not making that up, nor my...
Okay, civil strife or civil war? Big difference here, Mr. Jubini.
Predicting it. I'm saying that's an assessment of leaders in politics, infrastructure,
of some
and culture.
leaders, of some people, not of every. There's no united academia saying this is right around the corner, guys. That's not happening. You pull the sources that you want because they help craft your narrative, Tim.
And then when the summer of love happens, I was wrong.
Okay, so again, if you say the sky is falling every single day, eventually you get some keys of it right. But I've been hearing this from you for a long, long, long time. What have you heard from me? Again, I'll repeat it. I have listened to you long before I was ever inside of any type of political commentary. I was listening to you talk about coming civil wars, how this is happening.
What was wrong?
In the next few months, next few months, this could really set the stage between the states and this for a new civil war.
What was wrong? What was wrong?
They just didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
None of these civil wars that you.
What civil wars did I predict that didn't happen? What civil wars?
Well, I didn't come in with a list of all the times Tim Pool's predicted civil war, but dude,
okay, you're at the point
famous for it.
You're at the point where you've lost the argument and you're making things up.
What part of the argument did I lose?
You said that I predicted a civil war would happen at a period.
No, I'm saying that you talk about it constantly.
Right.
And I have not.
Was I wrong?
I haven't seen any of the evidence of this.
Summer of Love is not evidence.
No, it's not. There's no civil war, even from the Summer of Love.
Riots do not equal civil war. The Civil War was way more deadly and crazy. Like, let's stop comparing. It's like when liberals compare everything to the Holocaust. That's not the same thing. We don't need to get into that topic, by the way. But, I mean, Tim is just kind of launching insults and not giving Andrew specifics here.
It's not a civil war.
When did I predict the Summer of Love would lead to a June 21st civil war in the United States?
I mean, that's what we're talking about right now, though, is the leading. So when is this? So let's be hyper specific then. What area, what decade, next 5 years, next 4 years, next 3 years, do you think we'll see a civil war? Or is it something you're talking about that's 30 or 40 or 50 years down the road? Or do you just not know?
Literally, I've said, I don't know.
You don't know.
And so you made up that I predicted a civil war at a specific period.
No, I'm saying that that's all I've heard you talk about for years.
What was I wrong about?
Again, Tim, I didn't come in prepared to debate with you. Came in prepared to debate with Richard Spencer, but I'm happy to actually come in.
Yeah, remember this is a debate with Richard Spencer, and Tim Pool is supposed to stay out of it, but he can't.
Again, and I will bring a list of everything Tim Pool has been wrong about if you want me to from
I'm wrong about a lot.
Yeah, okay. Well, then
I would love to see that. Please make it happen. Andrew's face.
that makes my point.
But the idea that I would recognize me saying these things might happen and being wrong about it does not mean that I'm in general wrong about the bulk of what I'm saying right now. The issue is numerous academics articles have recognized the basis of what civil strife is. I don't care if we're looking for a national committee of recognizing civil strife. Civil strife is a period described as political violence, death caused by political violence, and increasing political instability. We can.
Okay, so what's the definition of civil war then? Because when you're talking about civil war, that's the term you use all the time, and then Andrew brings it up, and now all of a sudden it's civil strife? Yeah, strife is not the same thing as war. Have you ever read, Tim? Have you ever read a dictionary? Ever heard of Google? It's free. See? That's not a valid argument for me. I'm just saying I'm using his type of arguing tactics against him.
Then assess everything that's going on and determine whether or not we think that's true, and everyone's allowed to have their opinion. But in 2018, when I said, hey, this political violence is going to get worse, and then it did. And then I said, man, I think if Trump loses, you're going to get a ton of these people on the right going to D.C. They're going to lose their minds. They're going to be like storming the White House or whatever. And then it happened. And so those are just two big examples where I'm like, X equals Y. I hope that doesn't happen. Where we're at now is all of these things are behind us. These have all happened. And I say, if you look at history and what these things tend toward, and when you look at what has been said 6 years ago and what it has tended toward and what has already happened, things don't bode well for us in November. And you go, no, we're fine. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
That's not what I said. So I've been kind enough not to strawman you. Don't strawman me. I didn't say.
You said Biden's
I didn't
get
say
elected.
no. It'll be fine.
Biden's going to get elected.
Yeah.
No one's going to do anything.
That's more akin to what I'm saying. That I think that it is likely that Biden gets re-election, okay, and that you don't see a civil war from it. Yeah, you might see some activism, might see some small-scale violence that happens. No, I don't think it's going to lead.
You've been strawmanning the whole time.
I don't think it's going to lead to anything widespread. To be honest, I don't.
You're still strawmanning. Because my point.
How can I strawman my position?
You're strawmanning my position.
I wasn't talking about your position.
I did not say Joe Biden getting elected starts a civil war.
Tim, I was talking about Andrew Wilson's position is not Tim Pool's. I can't strawman myself. It's my position.
You said, I don't think Joe Biden getting elected will start a civil war. That's great.
That's my position. When did I say it was yours?
But why would you make a point that I don't disagree on that has nothing to do with my position?
Because I just wanted to give you my position so that you understood my position.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I don't know what your argument is.
My argument is that I don't believe that there's going to be widespread political violence. Even though I think Trump is going to lose, I don't think there's going to be widespread political violence. That's my point.
That's fair. That's fair enough. I feel like I want to intervene here a little bit.
I mean, I guess that's when we're going to end the video because I wanted to just highlight the debate between Tim Pool and Andrew that wasn't even supposed to happen. You'd think that Tim Pool and Andrew Wilson would be on the same side, but I don't know. I think Andrew Wilson, he can get heated in debates, but he doesn't hold it against people. He had a debate with Dave Smith, who's another one of my favorite people online, and they kind of got heated during the debate, but after they could laugh about it, and they just know, like, it's the nature of the beast. It's what's going to happen. And Tim Pool, though, I feel like Tim Pool, I mean, he's been nice to me, whatever. I'm just saying Tim Pool, I feel like, has kind of a weird ego thing where, and I hate being like, oh, this man has an ego. But I don't know. I feel like Tim Pool genuinely was getting mad at Andrew Wilson. I might have to text Rachel and ask her about this because I'm genuinely curious. Maybe I'll do a little update video. I don't know. You better subscribe so you can watch that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe. See you next time. Bye.